a super secret location deep within the mountains of Colorado, it's time to strap up, strap in, or strap on with your host, Shenanigans in One Shot. It's From the Ashes Radio!
Hey, look, it's us. What's going on, man? Good to see you.
You too.
Well, welcome to From the Ashes Radio on About Face Media. Thank you so much for being here. Please, by all means, go to all of our social medias. Follow us. We're on the YouTubes, the Instagrams, all that stuff. Please follow along. Follow along with our friends, WTF Nation Radio. We love WTF Nation. Heroes Media Group, all those cool people. Go buy some flippity floppities so you have clean feet when you get on the jiu-jitsu mats from Combat Flip Flops. Use code ONESHOT. You'll get 30% off. We get 15% of that to our nonprofit. And when you're done ordering your new flippity floppities, go to thighhuggers.com, enter the code ABOUTFACE.
No,
I have it backwards, don't I?
One shot.
One shot is at
All caps, no
all
space.
smushed together.
And then
This is why I keep you around.
I know. And then in the comments section, I need you to message Lance, who owns it and runs it, and be like, "Hey, you need to send Seth more thigh huggers because I mean, like
That is disgusting. Those shorts come
they're
down
like
below your knees.
past my knees.
You might as well be wearing
I
pants.
don't have enough thigh huggers.
It's hard to believe. I'm even.
Also, if you're making an order and you're saving all this money from this awesome code, I wear a size extra small. No, I'm not joking. I wear extra small thigh huggers, not small, not medium.
But that's the
Extra
point of Ranger panties, silkies, thigh huggers. That's the point of them all. You order them all one size smaller than what you normally wear.
I don't normally wear a small.
Yeah.
I generally wear like a medium or large, and thigh huggers is an extra small.
Oh, our guest just said never got a link. Oh, well, let me see if I can fix that for you.
You
So
are
talk.
fine again.
Well, exactly. I'm not really good at this, am I?
Oh,
That's
I'm
okay.
tired tonight. You can't expect me to be on point. You're the one that has to be on point tonight.
I thought he did. I'm going to fix this right this second. Let's go here. Let's go to mailboxes. I need to go to.
You got a lot of boxes there.
If I had a nickel.
Oh, folks, thanks for joining us tonight.
Sent.
Happy Columbus Day. I hope that offended a bunch of you because I like offending people.
It's what we
Did
do.
you know it's Columbus Day?
You mean Indigenous Peoples Day?
Whatever. So
Yes, I knew it was Columbus Day.
I give two shits. I know he did terrible things. He's still part of our history. So bad history, good history, whatever. Again, no fucks given. But I did not. Usually there's all sorts of hippity, hoppity bullshit going on, protest or not protest, and it's Columbus Day and blah, blah. I didn't see a fucking thing on social media, which I haven't had time to even look at much, but social media, news, nothing. I saw nothing about Columbus Day. But I went to pick up my fucking dog food from Amazon at the post office because they decided not to put it on the porch like they're supposed to. And
There's a
they're closed.
lot of questions to go with that story,
The
but anyway,
post
keep
office.
talking. Yeah.
Post office is closed.
Uh-huh.
And they have a little sign there that says they're closed in observance of Columbus Day. And I was like, oh, I didn't know it was. But anyway, that was my story and my exciting day. And I still don't have a lot of voice.
I hear that.
It's from screaming all day Saturday.
What do you call it? Yes, I heard, believe me. So a couple things to go with that. Let's start at the beginning. Huge congratulations to our friend Matt, who entered his very first jiu-jitsu tournament,
Yes.
correct? Gold in nogi,
Golden Nogi.
silver in gi.
No, I
bronze
think
in
he
gi?
technically took fourth.
Oh, well,
So
still
he
got-
started into the bracketing, but that was as far as he made. But first tournament,
Yeah.
still a white belt.
first time walking out on the mat.
Also, I owe him some beers. I always have the rule beers for tears. If you make somebody cry, each person you make cry, I'll buy you a beer.
Okay.
He fucking made a grown ass man cry, bro. The dude
He did?
literally stood up, got off the mat respectfully, walked over to the wall, threw himself down, put his head in between his hands, and was bawling.
Wow.
Granted, there was a savage.
I didn't hear that
There was
part.
a savage takedown that was part of that match, but either way, yeah, he made a boy cry. Not a boy, grown ass man.
I like everything I'm hearing. Good on you, Matt. Congratulations. In that very same vein, one of my best friends in the whole world, Steve Kramer, my consummate hunting partner. I mean, love him to little pieces. Congratulations on receiving your brown belt on Friday night. Well done to you. Yeah, he's very, very proud of him. And he's like not the guy. I had to ask him, like, dude, you got a picture of you getting it or something? And he's like, oh yeah, probably. Hang on, let me look. Let me look. I mean, if I got my brown belt, the whole world would know I got my brown belt.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, that dude was like, oh yeah, I guess I could share a picture. That'll make sense. Yeah. But great dude, and loves my kids, loves my family, nothing but a great guy, and got his brown belt. So huge brisket brother. I love our green room. Oh, we should decorate the green room a little better. I mean, I feel like we should put some furniture in there and snacks and stuff for people that are waiting to come on the show.
Yeah, a little candy bowl with Werther's Original.
Yeah. So one of the best things that my co-host has ever come up with is Combat Carl. If you're in the military, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Your unit had a Combat Carl. It's the person that constantly screws it up. No matter what you're doing, you're going to be the guy. He's the guy that's going to make it harder on all of you. And we like to find stories in the news of just general military fuck-ups. And they're easy to find. Everything from, hey, somebody didn't get paid to whatever the case may be. But I'm going to hand it to.
At first, I didn't like this Carl. Yeah, kind of like,
but now you're
thinking about everything culminating together. I do.
Our government. We are not into politics on this show. We are a nonprofit, so we avoid politics at all costs. However, we have to point this one out. Look, we get it. It's time to leave Afghanistan. We've been there 20 years. Cool. Leaving all of our equipment there? Poor choice. That same equipment turning up and being used against our allies in Israel? Not good. Not good at all. That is not the way, especially since you and I have such good friends that are, in fact, Jewish, who this is directly affecting.
One of my absolute best friends of 30 plus years, he's just sent me a couple articles of what's going on. His sister, who I just saw, she was stateside a couple weeks ago, just went back and her and her children in a fucking bunker, like hiding out. Like shit's real there.
Dude, and it's not good. It is not. It's not good.
No.
For the people of Israel.
No.
Let's start there. I mean, wow. I'm so sorry for what you're going through right now. And I feel like we as a nation contributed to that. I'm so sorry that you're going through that. B, anytime conflict breaks out anywhere in the world now, I start to get nervous because I have 2 kids that are draft age. And I feel like, and I know you and I have talked about this before, I feel like you and I went forward and did our jobs with the thought we are doing this so that our children didn't have to. Yeah, I know why you're laughing.
I don't think you do.
I was thinking of you because I know for a fact our executive producer, we were actually worried. We read that article. It was him that got on that plane with the Marines.
Yes. No, I was thinking that, I don't ever think about the draft because, I'm so much younger than you. I've never seen one.
Wow, Dick.
I don't really
think about Dick. Wow, you went right for the throat there, didn't you, huh?
Oh, I was sitting there holding it in for a minute.
You did. You did good. And I did not think that's where you were going with that.
That is the second time I got you in the name of the day.
It is. We were upstairs doing the show prep, and you got me there too. Am I looking old lately? I mean, I trimmed the beard up a little bit. I thought I was looking okay.
I feel like once you come to a certain age, if someone is so much as a month older than you, you gotta like rag on them for being older. Old guy jokes. Yeah. So I do stress about that. I don't think I have to worry about the draft with my midget. I'm pretty sure he is going.
There's no question. 17 and a half. Whose door he's standing on.
Oh, yeah. But and I would support him either direction. If he doesn't want to go at all, I'm like, hey, thank you for not having me have all those worries and things to think about. And then if you do, like, thanks for, leading the way and taking a stand on whatever was going on at that time. But
no question.
Yeah, it's some scary shit all the time right now for that because we're not seeing the same sort of conflicts that I grew up with. It's very different where it's like I'm like, okay, who's not fighting with who at this point? Like, are we nearing that real life like World War again, where we got a lot of shit going on and we see how things end up? Like, I don't know. It's a scary time.
Well,
It's also scary when we're at a time where artificial intelligence is going to be part of any conflict at this point. That war technology has advanced so much that, man, it's like, let me push this button and there goes this major country. Let me push this button and there goes that one. You know what I mean? Like it's catastrophic technology.
Agree.
It used to be at one point in time, it was like a big deal to get the musket rifle or the black powder rifle. Remember? Like, well, obviously, I didn't need to. That one was on accident.
Really, folks? Are you going to let him get away with all this shit? I mean, come on now.
Oh.
Really, the old joke? I'm 49. Where is this all coming from today? That's 3, by the way. And yes, I'm keeping score. And yes, this will come up again.
But yeah, like at one point, like, the lever action rifle was a big deal. Okay,
still is. Some of them are pretty damn sexy these days.
They're one of my favorite types of hammers.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we're talking about next level shit when we're talking about artificial intelligence. Like you said when we first talked about that drone that took over and killed off its human operator. Didn't we learn from the Terminator movies? Like, AI does not need to go into war machines. Like, have it write a paper for you, whatever. Like,
I feel like
have it help when you're not an English major and you're running your small business and you need to create content for a website page or something like that. Have it help you out. But let's not put it into things that shoot rounds and bombs and. I
can take out human beings. Yeah,
those are most of my big fears for what's going on now.
That's a legit concern to have, and I mean, I like your concern in that way because we're at that point now where it's a drone operator in Missouri or worse that's taking these shots and dropping these bombs and all that stuff. But it's worse than that. It's not even a drone operator in Missouri. It's a dude in front of a keyboard somewhere else that's driving the computer system that's doing self-operated.
That is self-operated and able to kill off that human operator. That's the problem, and it's already approved. It was 2 months ago. Was it 2 months ago?
Yeah, roughly. We talked about it here on the show. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Not kind of crazy. It's a lot crazy.
Because it actually happened. That's why it's not kind of crazy. It's really fucking crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I worry, like I said, when you and I we went in with the thought that I'm going forward to end this so my kids don't have to deal with this problem. And instead it's worse.
Somebody else's kids in Israel are dealing with our weapons that were left behind being used on them in a terrorist sort of way.
Breaks my heart.
And right now we're sending billions of dollars to Ukraine, lifting restrictions on money to Iran that was frozen.
Yeah.
Unfreezing money to Iran.
It's not good.
And watching our weapons kill people.
The thought that there's a rifle that I may have held that some jerk off is now using against us, our allies. That really,
it's a real life concept. Like it's not a concept that is so far fetched in reality that it wouldn't be reality.
Agree. It's a real problem. So yeah, our combat Carl for the week, our own United States government, folks. Remember that shit when it comes around.
Did you miss last week's combat Carl?
I did. I was driving a van full of veterans.
We were missing it out. We were missing, but last week.
How did it go?
Well, we talked about the president's dogs.
Oh yeah. Commander.
Yeah, commander.
Better a Secret Service agent, right?
11.
11 Secret Service. I'm not laughing.
No. Here's what I first read the highlight, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to read this. And as I read it, I was like, can it get worse? So. Commander is his President Biden's second dog that he brought in.
Yeah.
He just bit his 11th person, which was a Secret Service agent. Here's the deal, though. This is the second dog. The first dog had bit 10 before they removed it from the White House. So we got 21 attacks.
Imagine if your neighbor had a dog that had bit someone in your house 21 times.
once.
Yeah, exactly. That would not be tolerant. I mean, I'm a dog lover in every sense of the. I know you are. You got enough of the flock.
I've helped rehabilitate some aggressive dogs. I've trained some dogs. I've lots of different things, but nobody else in the world gets to get away with that sort of stuff. Like my dog bites somebody, it gets registered. They do it a second time. Dogs put down the matter.
Yeah.
No matter what. Sometimes on the first, depending. But the second, no matter what, done, you're done.
But plus, the White House, Secret Service.
I'm not in on it being the dog's fault at all. I'm not saying it's a bad dog. I'm telling you that clearly this man can't do anything. Can't form a sentence, can't say words, can't walk, can't ride a bike, can't go downstairs, can't keep a dog from being unruly.
So I'm saying, when I get elected,
leaves weapons in a foreign country full of terrorists to be used on other countries that are allies. I mean,
when I get elected,
yes,
the White House will be a dog sanctuary.
Yes,
and mostly basset hounds, but I mean, it'll be a dog sanctuary.
There'll be some bulldogs running.
Yeah, I get, absolutely, yeah. I mean, well, you're gonna have your own office, man. I mean, you guys make bulldogs.
I do more than just an office. It's like a wing area, right?
I have no idea.
I don't
know. I've been there like twice, and I didn't get much of a tour. So,
okay.
But yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. So yeah, vote Williams in 2024 if you love dogs. That's good. That's a great campaign. I'm going to use this.
Dude, we could have
executing pedophiles, demolish. Yes, we absolutely could. In the arms of the angels.
Yeah. And then, all the blurbs coming up: kill pedophiles, lane splitting, and we love dogs.
And stolen valor. Execute stolen valor. Yeah. That was a topic of conversation while I was in Baltimore too. Holy shit! You want to talk about a group of people that have no tolerance for that shit?
Yeah.
Start dealing with some disabled veterans that are riding wheelchairs. Holy shit, they have no patience.
Yeah.
So you and your boy picked these up when we were upstairs.
Yep.
These are the coins from Project Grit, the Buddy Check Challenge coin. So we are about to bring on my homeboy James, and we're going to find out all about Project Grit and how you can earn one of these coins. And I like to use the word earn because nothing's free in this world. So here we go. Everybody ready? Let's talk to James. Rob 2024. I love it.
This is the campaign, right?
Accurate.
This is the campaign, right?
That's exactly right. I think.
I was breaking out to celebrate. I was just celebrating here.
Ladies and gentlemen, my homeboy James from Project Grit. James, how the heck are you?
Man, I'm doing good, brother. I'm gonna keep a hold of this for a little bit for when 2024 comes.
I think we just found a new permanent guest.
I'll keep him.
I know shit, man. So for those that don't know, besides running the greatest radio show on the planet, I also worked with CrossFit as part of their medical team, and I made some of the best friends I've ever had. And one of those friends is a guy named James, who now runs something called Project Grit. James, let's start at the beginning. How did this come about? Tell it. Are you are yourself are not a veteran? However, you work with a bunch of veterans. Tell us a little bit about your background.
So, just to clarify, Project Grit is actually encompassing three of us guys. The mastermind behind the Project Grit is a gentleman named Terrence. But we'll get into that. Myself, as you know, like I worked with you for the CrossFit Games. I think you were in it a year before I was. I started in 2014 as a volunteer, like most people did, and then graduated up into a team lead, black shirts, what they call it, for the last couple of years. And then I recently just unofficially retired for this year. So, but now it's coming to Fort Worth is where I'm at. So now I'm going to have to unofficially have them retired. Yeah. So, oh, by the way, I'd like to point out, my hat's off to you guys to do this live. I did not realize how hard it is to do something like this because I tried to make a 30-second coin video that I put online. It must have taken me 3 days and 200 takes to do that video. So hats off to you guys for knowing how to do this. It's incredible that you guys can do it.
Natural talent, man. I just ride the wave.
The guy's name's One Shot for a reason. I'm pretty sure it's not because you can do one take on the radio show, but I mean, it applies to overall, life.
Could you imagine if we actually recorded this and then re-recorded it from the mistake?
No, I don't want to picture it.
We'd probably keep recording more and then it keep getting worse. So we're like, God, what's the matter? We'd never just throw the first one up. Yeah, so it's good.
We just say fuck a lot.
I like to say that the F word came out of my mouth quite a lot. So I thought like the best way to fix that is you just add something like this, and it takes out at least 20 takes, at least.
Well, that's very true.
So,
They call it lubrication.
yeah. So but anyway, so I'm a ER nurse by trade. I've been a ER nurse for going on 15, 16 years. I've been in the ER for 20 years. I've been a travel nurse for probably like 12 years. I just kind of retired from that. I met my queen, and she's a Texas girl, so I settled down here in Dallas Fort Worth. I'm a nurse here, and I also have a side business. I work with my brother-in-law. Very specific job, very boring. I love it. It's we help basically car dealerships get ready for audits for their inventory. It's just something I do to make some extra money so I can actually work on projects like this with Project Grit. And I do a little bit of freelancing stripping. My main focus is for the blind with dementia. I
Yeah,
found that there was a very specific niche of people that needed some entertainment. I never have to come up with new material, and I'm the only guy known to strip in Braille. Anyway, but so you'd be surprised at all the people that's like touching me like this back and forth, like they're reading my dance moves. So technically, all I gotta do is stand there and play some music. That's all I gotta do.
Is it cold in here?
Stay above the waist, baby. It's 68 degrees in here. Stay above the waist.
I will not be editing this. I am just going to throw it up as is. There will be no editing tonight.
I do. So my love for veterans, man. For one, the older you get, the more I realize that there's a lot of shit, pardon my French, that happens in this country that we have no clue about as civilians. No clue about. Things that you guys have had to do to keep us safe, I won't even begin to fathom that. And then knowing obviously the recent events that have happened over the past couple of days, which are heartbreaking to say the least, it makes me appreciate the men in arms even more. So one of the guys that's in this with us, my fellow brisket brother Azrael, he is a 10-year vet. He just got out of the military. He was special intel, airborne intel, and he told me something one time. I said, "Well, why are you getting out?" And he said, "James, there's a few reasons." He goes, "But my morals are starting to get in the way for some of the stuff he was seeing." And
Well worded. I
so
like the way that's said.
yeah, that's always stuck with me. And the funny thing is, like Azrael and we've just become really close friends. We just met like a year ago. He I'm not gonna break patient confidentiality, but he gave me permission. He came in the ER with kidney stones, and then when I found out he was a veteran, I know you're not supposed to be biased, but I tend to take extra special care of my veterans. And I mean, what way to bond a friendship than morphine, a little morphine, some IVs, and him and I have been BFFs ever since. So but yeah, that's pretty much my background. Is just being able. I'm a nurse. I'm a husband. I love being a husband. My wife is incredible. I'm just second go around, definitely better than second go around. And then
Look, man, this show ain't getting you laid. Any other show, but this is not the show that's going to get you laid. Well done to you, though. I like it.
But yeah.
Look, if this show gets you laid, you got to tell us.
I will. So yeah, but and then like I said, then Terrence is a awesome guy. He lives in Texas, not too far out of Dripping Springs. He started this rut called the Immortal 32 about it came into fruition by 2019. They started talking about it in 2020. They finally set it up and started with the Immortal 32. And that's how I met Terrence. It's a 75-mile ruck that we go from Gonzales, Texas to the Alamo with no camping, minimal rest. Yeah. Yeah.
Why would you do that?
You know what? I ask myself that question every day. I don't know. But it was the hardest thing and the most fun thing I've ever done. Now I got Owen, Owen, and I got Hicks with me, and I got Judah. Yep. They came and did it with me, and we all failed miserably. And Hicks was up for about 48 hours straight. He thought it'd be a great idea to stay up 24 hours prior to even starting, and then we walked another 24 hours. Yeah, and then he doesn't even remember the last 5 miles of the ruck. He literally blacked out the last 5 miles, and it was not from his moonshine either. Yeah, so we did this ruck this year in 2023. We started at 2 a.m. on Texas Independence Day with the goal is to make it to the Alamo on Texas Independence Day. And I made it 55 miles, 24 hours straight of rucking, started hallucinating, falling asleep as I was walking, and I couldn't go anymore. So Judah tapped out from a twisted ankle. Owen's body felt like it was breaking in half, and Owen just got over cancer treatment.
I
Like
was just gonna say,
Owen,
was it recovering from cancer?
this was his gift to himself of basically a walk, rites of passage. So he made it 55 miles. I think Josh made it a little like 50 miles, and then and so we had 20. Let's see how many people we had. We had like 22 people started, and only 14 finished. And one of those was a female. We've only had one female complete this race or this ruck, and her name is Meg Singer. She doesn't mind me saying her name. She's an amazing girl, only girl to complete the Immortal 32. So all of that being said, this past after all this, when we recovered, we got better. My buddy Azrael and I were like, we should try to make this thing bigger. We want to make this thing bigger because Go Ruck gave us head to toe gear. Like 11 of us supplied us, Jimmy with Go Ruck and Maddie with Go Ruck. They were awesome. And then not make the race longer, but make it a broader, make it to where it reaches more people. So we got up with Terrence. We had a meeting. So we got up with Terrence, and the cool thing about the ruck, though, to go back a little bit, is we raised $10,000 to support a veteran that he knew. So he just got So that was the whole kind of goal when he started in 2020. It was just him and his buddy Keith Busby that just wanted to do it because nobody really did anything for the Immortal 32 that are based out of Gonzales. He wanted to do something hard, and he wanted to represent something. So each year it's gotten a little bit bigger. And then so this year we were able to raise $10,000 for a gentleman who was a veteran, a SWAT team member, family guy, dad, and then got stage 4 colon cancer. So that money went to pay for his cancer treatment.
Good on you, dude. Well done to you.
Well, that was, like I said, Terrence knew the guy. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. And then so that was kind of where Azrael and I thought, like, how can we kind of help Terrence make this thing bigger? Because we're going to go back and do it again anyway. So Terrence came up with the idea. He said, well, I'm actually glad you guys called because I had these other ideas to do something bigger. And he came up with the logo Project Grit. So that's going to be the umbrella that basically houses the Immortal 32. We have one coming up called the Top of Texas. So far, we haven't seen anybody else that's attempted this, but we go to Guadalupe National Park. Yeah, go to Guadalupe National Park, and that's up near New Mexico. We start at 2 a.m. on October 22nd, and we try to hit 8 mountain peaks. What's that? Yeah.
Already out. As soon as you said 2 a.m.
So 2 a.m., it's a 26-mile loop, 8 mountains at 10,000 feet of elevation. We hit 8 mountains in one day. So we're thinking estimated 18 hours. Never been attempted before in one day.
There's a reason, bro.
Yeah,
there's a reason it hasn't been attempted.
So that's the one coming up. It's a beta test. We're going to try to start getting ready for next year. So that, and then like I said, then in March we're going to get the Immortal 32. So right now we started the coin challenge or the coins, and then the business cards. Are you guys familiar with 7X project?
No, tell me about 7X.
7X project is was started by a guy named Ryan, Special Forces guy. They call him the Birdman. Their thing was 7 continents in 7 days, doing 7 marathons, 7 swims, and 7 skydives with a certain amount of people to raise money for veterans. So he came up with, we got on a meeting with him. He's good friends with a buddy of mine that I know, and he told us about
nap-ins and sleep-ins and hey, let's lounge around. But we got to do, in order for us to raise money, like, hey, let's do 7 marathons on 7 continents. What? What the heck?
Yeah. And not to mention, one of the females got the world record for the fastest mile in a bomb suit.
So Gonzales. Yes. I've been trying to get that chick on the show for months.
She's awesome. She
yes,
we got a chance to hang out. Yeah, I worked for the tactical games last year, and she was in the tactical games some, and she's incredible. Like I can't remember her time, but it was a world record breaker for fastest mile in a bomb suit.
And it was like 9 minutes or something like that, wasn't
it? It was faster than my mile with nothing on. Yes, more likely.
Yeah, that chick's a badass, man, and we like stories like that.
Yeah, I'm 220 pounds, and like 100 pounds that's in my feet, so that's how fast I run. I mean, it's I'm the first one getting eaten by a bear. I know that.
You need a radio show.
No, you know what? I think I just need more tin cup. This 14-year anniversary is super good.
Good shit.
Yeah. So anyway, we got up with Ryan, and he told us about, he goes, hey, when I got ready to start raising money for burn victims, I believe that's what it was. He goes, I started this thing called a Buddy Check Challenge coin. So what these do here is it's a way to raise money, but also it's to get us out of our comfort zone. That's kind of a big thing we have with Project Grit and Briscoe Brothers is the more time you spend out of your comfort zone, the bigger your comfort zone becomes. So when somebody that you may know that you're having a hard time getting a hold, or maybe that you don't know how to approach them if something's going on, this coin kind of gives you an ability to say, hey, look, I just want to take the opportunity to check on you, see how you're doing. With me being loving vets, we have a lot of patients that are vets in the ER as well. So I use these with some of my patients in the emergency room. So, and it also helps to start conversation. I like old stories from like your old vets. Like my dad's a vet. He was an 8-year military police. So some of the stories he told were awesome. Just in his 8 years he was in. But like I said, but this gives you
Fuck you.
so
That's
just,
4. It's our free.
so just with this coin, it gives you like that tangible piece that you can hand to somebody and say, I'm here just to check on you. I want to let you know I love you. And it could be a random person, it could be people you love, care about, doesn't matter. And what that does is it gives them the ability to say, you know what, I'm really not doing well. I'm glad you came and said something, or whatever the occasion may be. And then now that puts responsibility on you to then say, okay, well, what can I do to help you? And then the goal is when they get to where all is right in their world, you give them this coin and you say, okay, donate to the cause, which is all the instructions are on the back, $1, $10, $100, doesn't matter. And then that goes to then helping somebody else that you don't know. In this case, we are donating this year. We're raising money for a place called Patriots Hall out of Dripping Springs, which I'll get to in a second. But then they take a picture with this online. They post it online. They tag Brisket Brothers. They tag Official Project Grit, and then that continues to spread the word. So the goal is that these coins never stay in anybody's hand more than 48 hours. So that's kind of the goal behind that. Yeah. So I sent you a few.
You did.
So,
Now I got no problem.
Yeah.
I like what you did there. I like that you just challenged us.
Yeah. So like I said, it makes you to where you don't. We didn't. Coins are usually expensive. Coins are usually like $10 or $12 a piece. They're really nice. You never get rid of them unless it's a very special occasion. We made these out of wood because we don't want people to keep them. We want them to be given out, and the cost of this is minimal, but the results of it is exponential. Like you can get a lot done checking on people, but then also getting people to donate. Then they're donating to a cause that helps veterans and their families. So Patriots Hall is a place out in Dripping Springs, Texas, and actually, you probably know what's fully escaped his name real quick. Where's it at? Kyle Chandler. You know the guy from Friday Night Lights, the coach on Friday Night Lights?
I do.
So he's one of the founders of this company, him and his wife, along with there's tons of other people on the board. But we know a guy. So Terrence, buddy, his name is Jesse Milner. He is a Green Beret board. He's a board member there. So it's a 10-acre property that's going through several phases of development. Make retreats, weekend retreats, giving resources for places for veterans and their families, and it's all for free. So it's all given to them for free by people that donate. So that's what we're trying to hit, trying to raise money for. Our goal, we said, was $10,000, but we really want to raise more than that this year. Our goal is to get $100,000 is what we really want to do.
I'll be honest. I think that one of the hardest things in the world to do is fundraising, and 99% of the way of doing it is not cool. I really like this.
Appreciate it.
That doesn't happen very often.
They're always like
that's a one-shot compliment. That's a one-shot compliment. I like that.
I like that it's not just like, can I have money? It's like, here's a way of encouraging people to help out, check on your buddies, check on not your buddy. It doesn't have to be somebody to check in on somebody. There's something in your hand. I think something in your hand always helps out. I like this a lot. I think it's
I love that the directions are all on the back. How to participate. 1, buddy check. Are you okay? If not, what can I do to help? 2, post pictures of you and your buddy and your coin on social media, tag Project Grit. 3, use our website to donate $10 to our charity. 4, give coin to a buddy, has 48 hours to repeat. The clear directions. I love it. So I assure you, our listeners want to know, how can they get a Project Grit coin that they can pass on to people?
So the cool thing about this is the coin is we can send you one. So you just reach out to us on Official Project Grit and we can send them to you. However, the people that, let's say, don't want a coin, just do the challenge. Just check on somebody. Like if it's going to be like, we will send you coins, but don't wait for the coins to come to you to miss out on an opportunity. Like for example, the other day we were in the process of making the coins. I was at a random, I was a discount tire getting my tires rotated, and a guy randomly saw my hat. I had a Go Ruck hat on, had my Go Ruck shoes on, and all of a sudden we got into a 20-minute conversation about Go Ruck, talking about the project grid we were doing. And so now he's even interested. I gave him information, and he's interested in doing it with us. So the coins obviously we'll send to you. We've sent them out. I've sent them out to a few people, the people that you and I know, mutual people we know. And but the goal is just we're all in this together is our thing. And you made mention the other day, this is bridging the gap between civilians and military. That's what we're trying to do as well. Because right now the military, I don't even want to think what's going to happen here in the near future. You guys were talking about it earlier, all the stuff with Israel and like our kids. I'm not even a dad yet. We're, hopefully one day soon. I don't. It's rough to think where it's going to be here in the next 10 or 20 years. So, but the best way, the things we can do now is take a step outside the comfort zone, approach our fellow brothers and sisters, strangers, whoever it may be, and say, you know what can I do for you? That's kind of the whole concept. So we'll send them to you. Or just do the challenge. Do the challenge and donate.
It really is. I love what you just did there, because we as veterans, it's in our literal and first responders and just, nurses and all, it's in our nature to serve others. We can't help it. And I know you're the exact same way. We just don't have the ability to say no. It's a huge challenge for us to say, I don't have time for that, or something to that extent. And so constantly trying to help others. I mean, shirt off your back kind of stuff. And I love what you did with that. Is it doesn't have to be a service member or a first responder. Just give it to someone and say, hey, how are you doing? I love that thought, that you are truly bridging the gap. Well done to you.
Yeah. Well, and also too, I mean, I've had my bridging the gap has been for patients. I work in a lot of heart and stroke centers. I mean, I think you not probably had the conversation. I had a stroke when I was 23. That's one of the reasons I couldn't get in the military. I had attempted to get in before, other reasons they wouldn't let me in. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get my degree. I'm gonna get my bachelor's degree in nursing. I'm gonna go back and try it again. I stroked out in my senior year in nursing school, went totally paralyzed on my right side. I couldn't talk. I got over that after having, blood, the TPA is, TPA, right? You know what that is, the blood thinner. They went in my brain to pull out the clot. They couldn't get it all the way. I've had heart surgery. So military said, no, we don't think so. We don't want anything to do with you. So,
Yeah.
but so I was ready to go in. I had 4 years of ROTC. I loved the military aspect. I think everybody should serve at least 2 years. But through that ability to have, the stroke was the best thing that ever happened to me, because I wouldn't have had my stroke. I wouldn't have got out of my comfort zone originally. I wouldn't have started doing CrossFit. I never would have started fighting with Krav Maga. I never would have got into the CrossFit team, as far as the CrossFit games go, and I never would have met my wife. So, but using that stroke as a bridge to talk to people, saying, no, actually, I know what it's like to have a TBI or traumatic brain injury. Terrence, he suffered through self-inflicted addiction for years, and until he realized he was going to kill himself if he didn't get off of it. My buddy Azrael, he has suffered from PTSD and depression from the shit he's seen, overseas. So we have all three of us have some type of history that helps bring people together. I think, that's the biggest thing with a lot of these veteran societies are helping bring awareness for suicide awareness, traumatic brain injuries, PTSD, addiction therapies. That's a ton of what these charities go to now. And it's a real thing. We see it in the ER all the time. So
we are both sober. I mean, it's a very, very real thing in all of these communities these days. So yeah, you're exactly right. And it's a very real challenge for everyone around us these days. And just guys our age, I mean, just folks. So love what you're doing, man. James, I could talk to you all night, as you're aware. But yeah, I want to be respectful of your time. You got a family to get back to. So my hetero life mate here is going to talk you through the last few minutes of your interview.
James, we always forget to ask the question you want us to, or bring up, the subject matter that you want to talk about. So at the end of your time with us, you get about 2 minutes, whatever we glossed over, whatever we forgot to ask you, whatever just didn't come up that you wanted to make sure got up. Plus, Remind us of your contact info and socials and everything. But the floor is yours.
Oh, I appreciate that. Like I said, the best way to get a hold of us, we have a couple of different Instagrams. We have Brisket Brothers, which is my buddy Azrael and I's, and then we have Official Project Grit, which is our partner with Terrence. The whole goal is we hope to, with Project Grit and Brisket Brothers, the reason we have them divided is because Project Grit is going to focus on doing hard things like rucks, prepping for rucks, and then supporting our vets. The goal for Brisket Brothers, once we get Project Grit off the ground, is we kind of want to go backwards. We want to start hitting the youth, especially boys without fathers. That's kind of our 5-year goal, is that we start to hit, one, we start making workouts to train for rucks and train for life in general. That's the whole point of CrossFit. That's kind of been inbred. That's in our bones and in our blood now to stay fit for life. But we hope to make some fitness videos in order to help prepare for rucks in life, and then also we want to get boys, specifically boys without dads, because the biggest issues we're having nowadays, we're starting to see, is that boys without fathers leads to a rough ass future. So if you can get kids around people that are united under whatever one cause, whether it's rucking or fitness or just teaching men how to be men, that's the biggest thing I'm on my kick now, is teaching men how to be men. I think we got too many pansy boys out there now, pansy men, and I think the youth is where it starts. So that's kind of the goals we want to hit, and all encompassing from kids to the elderly, on how we can bridge that gap, letting kids know, listen to these older guys and their stories. And the best way to do that, another thing we thought about doing, is with Brisket Brothers, we're talking about doing like retreats for men. Get out there with sauna therapy. I've got a portable sauna tent that gets up to 200 degrees. We get out there with that. We get out there with ice plunges. We get out there and do rucks and do workouts and just get around a campfire and talk about man shit, and let some of these kids hear about what it's like to grow up, what it's like to be in the military, what it's like to go through hard times, and teach them that if you want it, you got to earn it. So that's kind of like the 5-year goal for us to be able to hit. So in a nutshell.
Well, I know of one person that would be an excellent asset to that. He is raising a fine young man as we speak, and has an excellent story to tell. So yeah, when you're ready, I know a retired Army sniper that would be happy to work with some of those youth, and does it today. So
Right.
I mean, well, he chokes them unconscious, but other than that, sometimes that needs to happen.
Introduce me to that guy. Sounds like we get along.
It's called a reset. Choke him out to reset.
Aggressive resetting.
Aggressive reset. It's a hard reboot.
See, now these are the comments I like. Nathan Hucker, awesome guest, one of my favorites. See, that's good stuff. That's real good stuff. All right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been talking with my buddy James, one half of the Brisket Brothers, a big advocate for Project Grit. Go to Official Project Grit on Instagram. Say, hey, heard you on the show. You were awful, but I still want to get involved. How do I get one of those coins? And James will be happy to send you one of those coins. But like he said, don't take the time. Get in there and start taking care of people to begin with. James, it has been awesome having you on the show. I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your Monday night to spend a little bit of time with us, and especially for what you're doing with Project Grit and the Brisket Brothers. Rob, 2024. I agree completely. Vote Williams in 2024.
Right.
We're going to abolish the Department of Veterans Affairs, baby. Number one thing.
Before we get off, you guys have an official invite for 2024 Immortal 32 challenge on Texas Independence Day.
I will pack him a lunch. He will be there, man. He is excited.
We've got a couple celebrities coming too. So I've already got one celebrity coming.
I kept a lot of being a soldier in my daily life. I wake up, make my bed. I don't sleep in. There's lots of things, but I don't put on a rug. It's like if there was one thing, that's it.
I get it, man. I get it. If I didn't hunt and have to carry large animals out of the woods, I don't know that I would either. But yeah. James, thank you so much, man.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate your service.
We'll be talking. Thank you, sir. And we'll be talking a whole lot more to you as time goes on. So well done.
I hope so.
Have a great night.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
That was fun.
That's good. He is hysterical, and he's a cigar smoker. So I love the guy.
It always is a point for you.
It is. It very much is. It very.
I'm
That's,
glad I don't smoke cigars. I feel like it would just be that much more of you liking and appreciating me around me. Where it's just like you just couldn't hold yourself back. You would end up in the guest room.
your modesty is overwhelming. Cigars are good for mental health. You can't convince me otherwise. They're terrible for your physical health, but damn, they are good for mental health because they make you stop for 1 hour, sit and chill out.
Yeah,
I won't apologize for it. I feel like I work my ass off enough that I deserve one once in a while. So, but yeah, that was a good interview. That is a good one, and I'm not going to edit that. I'm going to throw that up on Spotify
Just
and Apple Podcast as is. Yeah, it's going to go up as is. So yeah, excellent. The show is flying by tonight.
I know. We got to get going.
We really do. We do. So we have a whole nother guest that we have to get through. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite people on the planet. You know her as the Mayflower, Carissa May, the boss lady at CrossFit Loop. Carissa, how the heck are you?
Hi, good. How are you tonight?
Better than I deserve. How about you?
It was a hard workout today, burpees and wall balls. So I did it. So I'm good.
You were throwing some weight around yesterday when I saw you.
Cleans. It was just cleans. Yeah, that was good. It was a good workout.
Just cleans, just cleans.
Well, when it's only one thing, I'm like, well, it was just that.
I'm glad you can say it like that. So Saturday, I'm getting ready for, I was at the tournament and I was sitting there like in my own head wallowing and waiting to get on the mats and waiting to go on for my next match. And I get a text message from Carissa and she's like, hey, November 11th is Veterans Day. Mm-hmm. And we want to do the workout Chad at CrossFit Loop. Do you know what Chad is?
I don't.
Carissa, would you like to tell Seth what Chad is?
So Chad is a hero workout. We can go into that if you'd like, but what's a hero workout?
Well, no, let's start with Chad, just because I already know what his reaction is going to be.
So Chad is 1,000 box step-ups with a ruck.
Yeah, he's being very polite right now, which is out of character. Yes. So she says, hey, November 11th, let's do Chad, and let's bring as many veterans as possible into CrossFit Loop, and let's bring some attention to Veterans Day. So Carissa, tell us about November 11th, and tell us the plan, your plan for November 11th Veterans Day this coming year.
So November 11th is Veterans Day, as you know. At CrossFit Loop, we would like to host a workout 3 times that day. It'll take about an hour. So we're going to do 7 o'clock, 8:30, and 10. And I would love to get as many veterans, reserve, guard, Gold Star families, all the people I can get. I want them there. I want to celebrate veterans, honor veterans, lift people up. If you can't do the workout, come down and just cheer people on. Enjoy the environment.
So my hetero life mate has been to CrossFit Loop recently, actually, and did what was the workout? What did we do? Fight Gone Bad. It was roughly sometime in August.
Yeah.
Thanks to you, Carissa, as well. Yeah, and he had a really, really good time. He really did.
I did actually.
How sore were you?
I will rarely enter a CrossFit box, but that's my favorite CrossFit workout.
Mine too. And Chad sounds absolutely miserable. However, as James has expressed, I don't know how much of his interview you heard, Carissa. For some reason, we as a community come together through suffering, and I have no idea why that is. Why can't we come together over who can lay in the hammock the longest, or drink the most coffee, or something like that?
It doesn't work like that.
We can do that on vacation, but not. Yeah. I agree. It's the energy. It's the suffering, but it brings people together. And in an amazing way. So it's fun to celebrate and honor in that way.
You and Chris are some of the most supportive of veterans people I have ever met. You are not a veteran yourself, correct?
Actually, my husband and myself are both Navy vets.
Ew, Navy. I mean,
Ew.
it's like not being in the military.
No, it was amazing. I was actually on a ship. It's great.
What did you do in the Navy? How long were you in for?
4 years. I was a bosun mate, and I was on the USS Yellowstone.
I didn't. I don't know much about that. What is that? Is that a boat? I hope
it's a destroyer tender. So
cool.
Smaller than a carrier, but bigger than all the other ones, basically.
And what does a boatswain's mate do?
I was a master helmsman.
What?
I was a master helmsman, so I drove the ship.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Cool.
Yeah, I want to do that. That sounds super cool.
It was pretty cool.
I only did 4 years. I was in the Navy for a little while. What'd you do? I drove boats around the ocean.
No,
Dude, that sounds super cool.
not boats, destroyers.
Destroyers around the ocean.
Battleship stuff.
Yeah. Why is it the people that have the coolest jobs in the military are
the ones that you have to ask 100 times over to finally get what they did?
Anybody that says, "Oh, what'd you do in the military?" I can't tell you. I'd have to kill you. You didn't do
Yeah.
shit, man. That front of a laptop. She drove a destroyer around the world, and she's like, "Oh, I was just did 4 years. No big deal."
I won't make fun of you in the Navy. You did that.
I already got. I'm the one that works out with her.
She was nice to me when I went in.
I assure you, she didn't mean it. What did Chris do?
He was a personnelman.
See, now that's not a cool job. Your job is cool. I can't wait to see him next.
I agree. I'm like, mine was cool.
This conversation went a direction I really like.
Right?
All right. So Chad, on Veterans Day, 3 workouts, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., and 10:30, you said?
7, 8:30, and 10.
Cool. How can people sign up? Or can they sign up? Or do they just show up?
They can just show up. But one of the ways we're raising money for the Step Up Foundation.
Cool.
And one of the ways that you can register or donate is through chad1000x.com, and that'll take you there. You can also come in that day, and all money that we make from drop-ins, from you giving donations, from everything will all go to the Step Up Foundation.
Super badass. Do people have to bring their own box, bring their own weights? I mean, what do people have to have?
So I would love it if people actually had to bring their own box. That means that we would have that many people there. Right. I'm going to say, if you have a box, bring it. I am going to get a whole bunch of people to bring their boxes in as well. So I'm hoping that we'll have enough, that we'll have plenty.
Well, he has a bunch of tractor tires. I mean, we could step up on those. They're attached to a tractor, but I mean, we can. Yeah.
I have a few tires out there. We could use those too.
I've touched them, believe me. Carissa, so November 11th, we're going to have you back on November 13th and find out just how much money you raised for Chad.
Awesome.
And we're looking forward to it. I don't mean to say I'm looking forward to the workout. That's not accurate at all. However, I'm looking forward to the good things happening that day. So I will be there cheering all this on. I may strap on a ruck.
Did you
reluctantly.
say 1,000 step-ups or 100?
She said 1,000.
It's 1,000.
I could sign up to 100. I don't know about the 1,000.
Well, and
that box step up might not.
It might be a curb. Well, and you kind of make an excellent point.
Yes.
For those that are not feeling ready for this, such as myself, is this scalable? And what can people do? Is there a way to do it remotely? Can they scale this? Tell me.
Yes, they can. So I would say grab a partner, grab a couple partners. You can divvy it up amongst the 4 of you, the 2 of you. You can both step up. If you haven't worked out in years, get in there and do 100 box step ups, because that will be just as hard as somebody who's been working out for years and doing 1,000. So you do what you can do.
Well, my buddy Marty Smith and Jimmy McCullough are listening right now. And I know both of those guys will be all the way in. So yeah, you'll have plenty of people.
I have a lot of friends and students. I bet you I could get a team together.
I love it
to get to 1,000.
Everybody does 10. Yeah.
Everybody, one step. All right.
On 3, 1, 2, 3, go. Chris, I want to be as respectful as your time as possible. So there's things that we have to get to. We are at the point in the show where we have to give this week's safety brief. Normally, as you're aware, in the military, on Friday before final formation, you get your weekend safety brief, so you don't, go and do stupid things and get arrested and things like that. Well, this show airs on Mondays, so we have to give the safety brief that's going to last the whole week. So what does Marty Smith say? I can only step one leg, LOL. He's missing a leg. That's kind of funny. That's a really good joke, Marty. So it's time, which ties into the safety brief as far as I'm concerned. It's time for this week's safety brief. Carissa, would you like to kick us off with this week's point for the safety brief?
What would that point be?
Whatever you want.
We can go first, and you'll have an idea. But then before we start, I got one question for you. I think you should come on the Monday before the 11th for just a couple minutes if you have time, and let's remind everybody and try and get some more people.
Yeah.
And maybe
you can even bring your personnel mate if you'd like.
Maybe we'll get me across the line. See, maybe I'll come.
Your husband, yes.
Oh God, I love that guy. Oh, that's awesome.
Remind people of times.
Yeah. Does that sound like a plan? We'll have you back the Monday before, and we'll beg for money, and we'll remind people.
Yes, I would love to.
I love it. All right. Do you want to kick us off?
I will kick us off.
Oh wow, that means it's going to be a good one.
It's not. No, it's not even a great one. But click it or take it, folks. You need to get home to your friends and family. We need to drive fast because that's what we do, and we need to get there safely just in case. So click it or ticket. And again, I don't believe in tickets, by the way.
You don't believe in tickets?
No, they're awards. Usually given out to a very nice human being, letting me know that I was awarded the fact that
congratulations
really
for going the
car.
Fastest in this zone
Ever.
That's awesome.
I got the biggest award I've ever gotten in my life like a month ago. Holy shit.
Well,
anyway.
According to USAA, I don't have any. So I'm going to stick with that line of thinking. I'm
going to click your ticket. Yours?
And this one may be specific, but I think it applies to life in general. And that would be tap early, tap often. Be ready to tap. It is okay to say, hey, I've had enough. Tap early, tap often. And you can apply that to anything you want, not just jujitsu. If you have had enough, it's okay to tap early and tap often, folks. Take care of yourself first. It is one of the most important things. You can't help others if you cannot help yourself. So tap early, tap often, like I do. Shut up. Why are you laughing at that, Dick? Carissa, what you got for us?
Okay, well, I'm gonna put it into CrossFit. Everything is scalable in life.
I like that.
I like what you did there.
You do not have to do what everybody else is doing. You do what makes your day, your workout, your life great.
I really like that one.
Yeah, that is real good. That's a real good one.
See, this is why I asked you to come back again.
Yeah, it's a good call on your part. Yeah, I'm glad you know these people. This is a good thing. Yeah, it's a good call on your part. Ladies and gentlemen, before we kick you loose for the week, this is the part where we come back to never forgotten. There are people in our nation whose names we should always remember. Last week was the anniversary of Operation Gothic Serpent, which you all know as Black Hawk Down. Make sure to read the book, watch the movie again, and remember those that gave their lives in service to their nation in Somalia in 1993. I'd like you to remember the name, Chief Warrant Officer Clifton Elvis P. Wilcott. Elvis is his nickname. In just 3 years, Chief Wilcott would have been retired to the farm that he and his wife bought on the rolling hills of Kentucky's North Carolina County, an hour north of Fort Campbell. We were starting to learn to raise cattle. He was quite a good horseman, says his widow, Christine Wilcott. He would take his 12-year-old son, Robert, dove hunting. He was a really good husband and always put his family first, Christine Wilcott said. He was sweet and considerate. Robert and I knew we were the main focus of his life. As an Army brat, Wilcott grew up in Germany, hiking in the Alps with his mother while his father served in Vietnam. Wow. The family later moved to upstate New York, where he joined the Army. Cliff was devoted to his parents, loved them very much. I think that says a lot about him. On October 3rd, 1993, while leading a flight on the assault of objective in downtown Mogadishu, his aircraft was struck by an RPG. As his aircraft fell to the ground, Chief Wolcott skillfully maintained control of the air issued critical instructions to those aboard, thus helping to ensure their survival. CW4 Wolcott died as a result of that action and was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross for his gallantry. When you lay your heads on your pillows tonight, folks, drop to your knees and you put your hands together. Remember Chief Warrant Officer Clifton Wolcott, also known as Elvis. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot for listening to the show. We appreciate you participating. Carissa, thank you so much, and we will see you on November 11th. Folks, be safe. Have a good time. No, don't be safe. That's boring as hell. Just have a good time. And have a great rest of your night.
Be safe with the proper protection.
That's exactly right. Wrap that rascal. Good night.